This is Ava with Stitching in the Interlake. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Let me just adjust this again. I fail to do that every time. And that, there. Okay. Oh, no. It doesn't want to stick. Come on. Come on. Is it going to go? Okay. This is Ava. And down there in her bed is Lilybell. And my sidekick Jonah is outside, as always. So if you hear extra noise in the background, it's because I've got the fans going. It's quite humid in here today, but the weather is supposed to be cooling off here by later this afternoon. There's a cold front moving in from the north. So that'll return us down to near normal temperatures, which is about 23, 24, 25 degrees. So, and with it comes a lot of rain, and we need rain, especially for the fire zones. Yeah, it's too late for the farmers, sadly, but it's, yeah, it'll help out the firefighters. So, okay, so what am I working on? Okay, first of all, this channel is about stitching, cross-stitching, and cross-stitching related projects, items, stitch-alongs, that kind of stuff, hauls, but it also is a channel about my life updates, just generally what's happening, maybe around the world or whatever strikes my fancy that day. Okay. So that being said, oh, and if you are just passing through, please consider subscribing, or at the very least, please give me a thumbs up. It would be so wonderful if you would do that. Okay, now on. Okay, I have been working on country living, and yes, I just found my picture again. So this is what I'm working on, and I am working on these roofs, and I'm almost finished up here, and then I'm going to start down here on the water wheel. And once I'm finished this one color, which is 939, which is like right there and on the roof and those places, then I'm going to move on to I think a counted, and I think I'm going to start Hope and Love Bristol Orphanage sampler. I'll see. I'll see how I'm feeling, and I'll see how things just go. So, okay, so here is, oops, yeah, I'm just finishing up here on this. Then I'm going to come down here and start working down here. So yeah, I don't know. Things are going along okay. I have to be very careful on how much I drink. So if I don't drink enough, that's when the pressure goes up in my head. Because your cerebral spinal fluid, which bathes the brain and the spinal cord, requires a perfect balance in fluid. And if there's too much, you get one thing. If there's too little, you get another thing. But I think the CSF requires It changes every 3 to 4 hours, I think it is. But it also depends on how much you drink during the day. And I find that if I don't drink enough, then it's, I get more headaches and I get pressure. And the pressure goes kind of all over the place, moves around. But once again, I have my headache or migraine, whatever it is, on this side, which it seems to be the great majority of the cases. I would say about 98% of my migraines are always there. And, so yeah. What else was I going to talk about? I don't know. Oh, I made 2 cakes / cobblers yesterday. One was when I went to the store, they didn't have any more plums. So Gemma said that they were planning on getting some in, but didn't help me for this time. So then I thought, well, what am I going to do? So I decided, okay, well, I still have a few plums, and I'll get some fresh blueberries. Blueberries are in season right now. And I will, and then I thought, well, I'll get some nectarines. So I did that. Well, I had enough plums and blueberries to do 1 cake, or 1 cobbler, whatever you wish. So I did that, and that one was for the boys. And then I decided, well, I had enough kind of dough left, and that, and I thought, well, I'll just make myself one. So I made myself one with a nectarine and blueberries. And I didn't make it as sweet. Cut down on the sugar. And so yeah, so after it cooled off, I just had a little tiny piece of it last night. It was good. It was good. So I was happy about that. I don't cook very often, but yesterday, yeah, I got into the mood and I just took off from there. This is my Pure One cup that Ryan's mom gave me a few Christmases ago. It's one of my favorites. It has I believe they're magnolias. I think they're magnolias. And well, here in Canada, Pure One is closed down, so no more, unless there are some single stores like in Toronto or Vancouver or some of the bigger metropolis areas. But I don't think there's any in Winnipeg anymore. So yeah, so I'm having my tea and I'm busy stitching here. And Ryan's mom is supposed to be popping over to do a little bit of a stitch with me. And no, I won't even try her on YouTube because she just won't go. No. So I'll leave that. And yeah, she doesn't even sign up to YouTube. And she won't even give me a thumbs up. But I said, this is me. Oh, but yeah. So yesterday I sold the cage. I'm happy to get that out of there. And now I have the stools back in place underneath the counter there. Now I just got to get to the counter, clean that counter up. Um, I'm still planning on doing that, but yeah, yeah. I need one of those things that are called round tuits. They're actual things, and it's a round circle, and it's called a round tuit. And so then there's no excuse for not doing things because you've got around to it. So I haven't been able to find one. I saw one years ago, but I don't know. I think they were popular back in the 90s and early 2000s. So, but yeah, I don't know. So, but anyway, so how's everybody else doing? Um, Jeannie, how are you doing? Claudia, Laura, um, Deborah, Mandy in the UK, Natasha up there in Prince George, Jackie in Edmonton, my friend Juliet in Arisdale, not that she watches my videos very often. She's always too busy. You hear that, Juliet? You need to slow down. I always believe that if you don't slow yourself down, God's going to do it. So, yeah. That's what I always told my husband, too. That if he did not slow down and if he did not calm down, that God was going to do it. You all know how that ended. So, and yeah, so I sold the cage to a lady in Portage, and she paid me cash, but I was asking $75, and we settled on $65, and I was okay with that. You know, $10 here or there isn't gonna matter. And she was a widow, just like me, a more recent widow. Her husband died in 2014, and Lyle died in 2008. So, but yeah, it's difficult. But she was going to use it for her cats, to put her cats outside, so they won't run away. Yeah, Jonah would never be happy with that. I can tell you that right now. Jonah would not. He would not go for that. He'd be howling up a storm outside there. Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's happy. He's laying under the porch, under the deck. And when I was over there, Jeffrey and Ryan's yesterday, we were going to sit outside, and all these yellow jacket hornets were coming around. And so Jeffrey is going like this. And I said, don't do that. Don't do that. Because that just stirs up a hornet's nest. Literally. So I said, well, it's got to be someplace close. Because they're all around there. And they were all coming out. So I don't know if they... All it takes is one, right? When one finds a food source, it goes back and puts the all out, and they get more. But yeah, so I don't know. So then we just came right inside, and I talked for a bit, and then I came home. So, but I went for the mail yesterday, and there wasn't much in the mail. And yeah, so I'm still expecting a few packets from China. But with everything happening over there with China and Taiwan and the A country where everything's been happening, um, yeah, yeah. So it's just not good. The fallout on POTUS's head is coming to the fore. Now, I don't like him. I was a Trump supporter. Even though I'm in Canada, I was a Trump supporter. And I know that doesn't go well with everybody else, but that's okay. Trump got things done. Trump was, he was T-Man. He was, love him or hate him, he did get things done. You know? And even though he had signed an order for the troops to be gone from the aid country, I think it was going to be done in a much slower way than what has been done. And because what's done now is just an absolute atrocity. It's, yeah, one of the world's deadliest maniacal groups is, yeah, is in power over there. And I feel sorry for all the people. Oh my gosh. And the women. And the women. I feel so sorry for them. Because men don't want women to have knowledge. They don't want the women to know and understand things because they're afraid that they would rise up and go against the men. And the men don't want that. So, but it is what it is. I just pray for them over there. So, but anyway, so yeah, today I'm just going to be stitching. I cleaned up the kitchen. I was cutting up pajamas because they were just too holy. I needed some more rags anyways, so they're, as soon as they get to be too holy, the flannel pajamas, then, yeah. I've had them for like 10 years and they're just all disintegrating. And the fabrics are, they don't make things like they used to, right? They used to make things to last. I mean, and it would last. You know, washing machines and, oh, I don't know, whatever else. Toasters and coffee makers and beds and mattresses and, you know, everything, furniture. They would make things to last because this was a lifetime investment. Not like it is now where it's just a throwaway society. And I recycle as much as I can of everything that I can. And I even go where my pens no longer work and I take the pens, the ink thing out of there and I throw the other stuff into the recycling. I don't know how many of you do that, but you know you can do it. And because I don't want anything that doesn't have to go to the landfill. Doesn't go. I would rather put things in recycling. I know it can be a pain, but it is better. And, you know, the toilet paper rolls inside, the envelopes, flyers, everything. And I use reusable bags when I go grocery shopping. I despise the plastic bags, even the ones for fruit and veggies. I despise them. I do have some recycled bag, or like mesh bags, so I try to use them. Because all that plastic, oh my gosh. And even if I do get plastic stuff, I try to reuse it as many times as I can. You know, so even if the like plastic bread bags I use for when I clean out the litter box, that I use the plastic for just wrapping things up. I reuse tin foil, aluminum foil, everything. I usually buy used clothing because it takes more water to make a new product. Much more I think it used 10 times the water to use one product like a shirt. So if you buy it used, you save that. And I don't care if it's used. It doesn't bother me in a bit. I buy all, whatever I can used. I don't, my sofa and my chair here, my son bought me, it was used. And, I mean, there are some things that I buy new, but I try to stick with used. Because it's just so much better and cheaper. And cheaper. So, reduce, reuse, recycle, as they say. So, oh, who else was there? I don't know. For all of you, wherever you are, thank you for joining me. Und guten Tag zu die Leute in Deutschland. Ich danke dir für ihre Support. Und willkommen zu meiner Channel. Und viel Grüße aus Kanada. So, it's just a welcome to people in Germany. I'm sorry, my German is a little rusty because I don't speak it enough. Once I get going, then it starts to come back. But I don't speak with anybody around here. Nobody. So it's a shame. So, anyway, on that note, I'm going to finish up before I run out of space. So this is how far I am. I'm working down. I'm working back up there. And so I could have a fair amount done today. Hopefully. Hopefully. I might even get all this purple done today. Wouldn't that be nice? So this again is what I'm making. I got it on Everyday eCrafts. This is the number that you look up for it. But I have it, I name it Country Living because they don't name their products. Okay? And a lot of you out there are doing these ones. This one. So I'm very thankful and proud that you would follow me in my stitching. So, thank you again, and please click the like button. And please subscribe if you are really interested. I would really love to have you as a subscriber. I'm 2 away from 200. So it would really be wonderful if you would subscribe. And to all those that are just passing through, may you have a wonderful day. And for all my returning subscribers, thank you so very much. So, from Ava and Lilybell and wherever Jonah is, this is Stitching in the Interlake in Oakville, Manitoba, Canada, not to be confused with Oakville, Ontario. Okay, so no. So I wish you and pray that you all have a good day. So God bless and toodle-oodles!